Hello, welcome to the first video, well, first proper video of my road to being a millionaire. I thought on this first one it would be a good idea to start off by saying what I have as of now. And as you can see, this is what I've got as of 11 minutes ago. I put this together, it took me about 20 minutes to put this together. It's just a very basic Excel spreadsheet of what I have currently, just to give you a bit of an idea of where I'm starting at. I think it would be a good idea for you guys to see. So you can see everything I've got here. I'm going to first of all start by saying that apologies, I have got a cold, so if I sound a bit nasally, then that is why. But yeah, I'll start off by going through everything I've got. I said on my last video, the introduction, that I do have some crypto and I've found everything that I've got. I also couldn't help myself but have a little switch around and move some stuff around and change some bits and pieces. So I changed some of my Ethereum. I did have a bit more Ethereum, but I changed it to Metacade. I did a bit of research on that and saw that that might be a good little player for 2023, so we'll see. And then yeah, you can see the rest of it as it is. So I've got Bitcoin, I got Ethereum, which I also wrapped, which gives you a 5% APR, I believe. So APR is basically, for those who don't know, APR. Let me have a look. I'll just double check actually. But APR is basically where you get interest on however much you have, and it gets paid into your account either daily, weekly, or yearly, monthly, 4-weekly. They call it APY. Apparently through Coinbase you can get 7%, but I've got mine in a wallet and it was getting me, I think, about 5% roughly. It's getting me 5.23%. So hopefully, as Ethereum increases, that will increase, but also I should get 5% per year on the overall amount. So 5% of £83 is what I'll get paid yearly, basically, for having that. I've got some Shiba Inu. I've got Bitcoin Cash, Metacade, ApeCoin, which is what I had from ages ago, Fetch AI, and Scale. Those two were earns. You earn as you learn. So as you do some sort of learning through Coinbase, they give you some rewards. Fetch AI was one of them, and Scale was also one of them. So that's those. I also recently deposited £100 into my investment account, which is an investment ISA. So you get a maximum of 20 grand a year where you can invest into an ISA and you don't have to pay any tax on it. So zero tax on 20 grand a year, which is quite a substantial amount, to be honest. If you was to pay tax on it, I can't remember the rules right now. Tax on investment income. So do you pay tax on investment income? Just like the money from a job, investments that earn you money may result in you needing to pay tax, dependent on the investments you hold and how much they make in returns. There are various types of tax how much tax I pay on an investment. So capital gains tax is what you can avoid from investing through an ISA. So 10% for basic rate earners, which I believe is under 50 grand. And then unless any of the gain crosses over the higher, so if you earn less than £50,000 a year, so if you can return 50 grand a year, then you pay 10% of that, which of course is £5,000. You will pay £5,000 worth of tax to the government for earning up to 50 grand. Any more than 50 grand, then that extra amount over £50,000 will be taxed at 20%. So it's always worth putting everything that you're going to invest into an ISA. And especially as it gets higher and higher and higher, you can end up saving a lot of money just by keeping it into an ISA. So that's what I've done. I've looked at Rio Tinto. I put it £100 in, and I bought £100 worth of Rio Tinto. You can see I've got £98.06 worth of Rio Tinto stock. Now this is because you also have, with a large majority of investment brokers, you have a charge that you have to pay per transaction. I believe, so I'm using Fineco, which is an Italian bank, and they, I believe it's only about £1.90 something, and they it will charge you £1.99 per trade, I believe, something along those lines. So you don't have to pay any monthly fee, but you do pay £2.95 per transaction. So that's a buying and selling. They will charge you £2.95. So it's not too much. Obviously, the more you buy in one go. So if I bought £500 worth of Rio Tinto, then they'll still charge me £2.99. Whereas if I bought £100, they'll still charge me £2.99. So obviously, the larger amount you buy at one time, the more cost effective it is in the long run. So, and again, they don't have any monthly charges or any sort of fees like that. So the only charge that you will pay is £2.95 on UK shares. I haven't traded any US shares in the past. I probably won't, but we'll see what happens in the future. I do kind of want to concentrate on UK shares. And the reason for that is mainly just to not have to pay this the $3.95 basically. But pretty much at the start, all I'm going to stick with is UK shares. And what I want to do is I want to try and build up a high dividend portfolio through my stocks and shares ISA. Now, for those of you who don't know, a dividend is basically the same as what the APY is for having your Ethereum wrapped. It's basically where you get paid either monthly or quarterly or even half yearly, and they pay you into your bank for the amount of money that you have invested. Now, depending on what your investments are, it also depends on how much dividends you can get paid back. I can show you an example of this. So what you can do is you can have a look on TradingView. So TradingView is a really good tool to use because you can just look at any company, you can look at any stock, you can look at any crypto and find out all the information, so exactly how they're doing, what their stock is trading at. You can look at their dividends, you can look at anything like that. So dividend yield for Rio Tinto is 8.28%, which is pretty high. The average dividend yield percentage you'll be looking at for standard companies is anywhere between sort of 2 and 5%. And so I'm starting off with Rio Tinto. I had Rio Tinto in the past, and I know they pay quite well in their dividends. So this is something that I want to build up with, and I'm going to go straight into. So they deal with exploration, mining, processing of mineral resources, and they also deal with iron, aluminium, copper, diamonds, energy, and materials, etc. So they do a lot of they deal with a lot of mining and actually producing of materials for building as well as precious metals. So they're going to be around for a fairly long time. They're a very big company. Market cap is sitting at 82.969, so almost 83 billion, which is again quite high. So they're going to be around for a pretty decent amount of time. So that's I hate to say it because you never know if something's going to be a safe bet or not, but I'd say that's a fairly safe bet. So Rio Tinto, that's who I'm starting with. Bitcoin, all of these are my cryptos. My assets I have 50 grand of assets at the moment, roughly. So you can see on the right here, this is my property equity calculator. So I have 50% share on the flat. I've got a part rent, part buy flat. I bought the flat, my 50% of it at £107,500. I've got a mortgage on it. Remaining mortgage left is 85,000. I've been living here for approximately 4 years, so and I've recently had it valued, and the entire value of the property, of 100% of the property, is 270 grand. So obviously half of that is 135,000, and then all you do to work out your equity is your property value at the current market price minus your mortgage left will tell you what equity you have. So I've got 50 grand of equity, and then obviously cash in the bank. So put it all together, and this is what I have. This is what I'm worth, basically. You could also put in your other assets like your car and your computer and bits and pieces, but I mean, what's the point? You're just going to be delving deep into things that you're probably not going to sell, you're probably not going to make money on, unless of course you've got a classic car and you're actually using that as some sort of investment. But I'm not. I use it to run around, and I'm going to sell it at a loss, so why put it on there? So I'll leave that off there. So that's what I've got at the moment. So in terms of where I'm starting, this is where I am. What I want to do is I want to obviously build on it. I'm going to monitor it. Each week I'm going to do a recap and a re-evaluation of where I am on here. I put up, I might do it weekly, I might do it monthly. Again, like in the last video, I'm just going to make it up. I'm going to make it up as I go along, and I'll see how it feels. If it feels maybe too much, I'll go, you know what, I'll just do it every month and just do the other bits in between. But for now, this is where I'm at. It's looking good. Well, it's not looking good, it's looking pretty basic, but it's a good starting point. I will be putting more investments in. I will be doing a monthly transaction investment account of £100. I won't be messing around with any more crypto. I think that's a fine amount, and I know that's a good starting point, so I'll see where that goes. And I can always move stuff around if I feel like, oh, you know what, I tell you, look, maybe Shiba Inu's like going to jump up. I can always transfer Bitcoin into Shiba. Or anything like that. I can have a little play around and see what happens. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I suppose, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have just started. So what I want to do is I want to have a good look at all the different markets, and I can analyze them, try and show you or tell you what I'm seeing, what might be beneficial, what might not be. Obviously you can see the symbols that I've got here. I will be obviously adding to it. I want to move this down actually, because I'm going to have loads on here. I've got the basic ones. So DXY is basically the dollar, what the dollar is worth, how it's doing. US 30, also known as Dow Jones. So this is basically the top performing 30 companies in America. I don't know if it shows actually what companies are involved in this, but yeah, it's basically top 30 performing companies. You've got the Nasdaq, which is basically it's all of the electronic companies, I suppose. So it will have electronic. So this is like the top. It says actually. Listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, which is the second largest in the world, only after New York Stock Exchange by market variety. Technology, that's the word I was looking for. It wasn't fucking. But yeah, so it's made up of tech companies basically. So you're gonna have like Meta. You're gonna have. I don't think Tesla's actually involved in it because it's a car manufacturer. But you'll have like Meta. You'll have Twitter. You'll have loads of the, like all of the just tech companies like Microsoft. You're gonna have I don't think Amazon's in it, but you're gonna have you're gonna have loads of all of those ones. I can't really think right now, but tech companies, that's pretty much all you need to know is tech. Nasdaq is tech. US 30 is standard companies in America. FTSE 100, which is the top 100 UK companies. Index share price of the largest 100 companies listed on the London Stock Exchange by market cap. The index was launched in 1984. Fair enough, but yeah, you can see how FTSE 100's going, which would be, for me, important to look at, because obviously I'll be investing in primarily UK stocks, so that would be a good one for me to keep an eye on, because if by the time that I build up my portfolio of UK stocks, you can see, you should be able to see a general trend. As this changes, my portfolio should also change with it, because I should, if I'm smart, I should be picking out probably from these, but obviously more of the high dividend ones rather than just the top performing ones, or the ones with the highest market cap. Gold, it's always interesting to keep an eye on gold, because in the trading investment world, gold sort of fluctuates up and down with how the world is going. So if there's lots of upset and outrage in the world, then gold tends to go up, because people tend to lose faith in the modern investments and go back to gold and silver and precious metals. So that's quite cool. Silver's also another one, exactly the same as gold, really. It works in a very similar way to gold, but it also works slightly differently. So that's another one that we can have a little look at. And of course, I've just put on Rio Tinto as well. So we'll have a little look. I'm going to add more and more to here. I'm going to add my cryptos. I'm going to add lots of stocks that I'll be looking at. And in the future, we'll be diving into some and actually doing some market analysis. We'll be looking at the full chart, so with candlesticks and stuff like this. It's a bit complicated to look at right now, but once you get a general understanding of it, then it can be quite fun, and especially when you do some sort of trading. So at the moment it's investing, but trading is a completely different kettle of fish, and that gets quite complicated, but we'll get there. But for now, you know where I'm at, you know where we are, you know what we're starting with, and it's going to be a long journey. So bye.